I walked into my brother's engagement party already knowing I didn't belong there. The room glowed with chandeliers and polished marble. Crystal glasses chimed as servers moved through the crowd. Soft music floated under laughter that felt rehearsed, expensive. The air smelled like perfume and champagne and something else, certainty. Then I heard her. The bride leaned toward her friends, smiled sweetly, and whispered just loud enough. "Looks like the country girl finally made it." Their laughter followed instantly. Light. Effortless. Dismissive. My chest tightened, but I didn't react. None of them knew they were celebrating inside a hotel I owned. And none of them knew this night wasn't going to end with speeches and clinking glasses. Before I tell you what happened next, tap like, tell me where you're listening from, and let me know if you've ever been quietly underestimated, because that single whisper changed everything. My name is Peyton Burns. I'm 32 years old, and for as long as I can remember, I've learned how to exist without drawing attention. I speak gently. I listen carefully. I dress plainly. Not because I lack confidence, but because growing up taught me that being overlooked is often safer than being seen. I was raised in a small town where reputations stuck and expectations were inherited. My older brother, Ethan, was golden. Teachers adored him. Neighbors bragged about him. My mother, Margaret, built her pride around him without ever intending to hurt me. It just happened naturally. At dinner, his accomplishments filled the air. Mine were acknowledged with polite smiles. Like background music, no one really noticed. The only person who ever truly saw me was my grandmother. She held my hand longer than necessary, like she was anchoring me to something solid. She once told me I wasn't meant to build houses or businesses. I was meant to build stability. Before she died, she promised me a necklace passed down through generations of women in our family. She said I'd need the reminder most. I left home at 18 with one suitcase and no farewell party. I worked whatever job I could find, starting at the bottom in hotels. Long shifts, aching feet, quiet nights alone with takeout and spreadsheets. Slowly, I learned every system. I saved relentlessly. I invested carefully. I never told my family. They never asked. For years, I sent money home anonymously. Utilities, repairs, medical bills, mortgage payments. I didn't want recognition. I just wanted them safe. So when Ethan's engagement invitation arrived late and felt almost obligatory, I still went. Part of me hoped something had changed. Standing in that ballroom, watching my mother beam beside Ethan and his fiancée, I realized it hadn't. I tried to blend into the edges of the room, a skill you develop when you grow up tolerated but never celebrated. I stood by a tall table, fingers wrapped around a cold glass, watching life move around me as if I weren't there. When my mother finally noticed me, her smile stiffened. Her eyes flicked to my jeans and boots. She leaned in and quietly suggested I should have dressed more appropriately. She emphasized that Ethan's fiancé came from a refined family. I told her I'd come straight from work. She sighed the same weary sigh I'd heard my whole life and turned away mid-sentence. That's when I saw it. The necklace, resting against Lena's collarbone. My grandmother's necklace. The one she promised me while holding my hand in a hospital room that smelled like antiseptic and endings. My stomach dropped. Lena moved gracefully through the crowd, accepting compliments like they were owed. The necklace looked wrong on her, not because she didn't wear it well, but because it didn't belong there. She found me watching. She approached with a polite smile and suggested we talk somewhere quieter. As soon as we stepped away, her tone shifted. She told me she knew all about me, the money I sent, my modest lifestyle. She asked why someone like me kept helping people who barely acknowledged my existence. Then she answered for me. She said it was probably because I was desperate to matter. She finished by suggesting that after the wedding, it would be best if I kept my distance. Less complicated that way. Then she walked away, my grandmother's necklace catching the light. I didn't cry. I didn't confront her. Something inside me went silent. The part of me still hoping my family would choose me finally shut down. And in that quiet, I realized this night wasn't just uncomfortable, it was dangerous. I stepped into the hallway for air. Real air. That's when I heard voices near the service elevators. Howard Whitmore, Lena's father, was on the phone. I heard fragments. After the wedding, cash flow. Just keep them believing a little longer. He mentioned my family without naming us. Stability. Resources. He hung up and walked away, calm and calculated. I sat in my car in the garage, engine off, reviewing years of transfers on my phone. The picture became clear. The Whitmores didn't want family. They wanted access. And if they were wrong about where the money came from, the fallout would be catastrophic. I texted Daniel Cross. I called my lawyer, Rachel. I called Hannah, the only person who understood numbers the way others understood feelings. When I returned upstairs, the party was reaching that fragile moment right before everything breaks. Howard took the stage, talking about family and legacy. Lena stood beside Ethan, my necklace gleaming. Daniel gave me a subtle nod. Hannah texted, "It's worse than we thought." Rachel followed, "Everything's verified. You're clear." The screen behind the stage flickered. Engagement photos disappeared. Financial documents replaced them. Names. Patterns. Accounts. Howard stammered. Lena froze. Security blocked the exits. A woman in a dark suit entered and identified herself. Investigations were ongoing. Howard's confidence collapsed. Lena begged Ethan to believe her. He stepped back. "I don't know who you are," he said quietly. As security escorted her away, the necklace fell to the floor. Loud. Final. The party didn't end in applause. It ended in truth. Days later, the fallout unfolded quietly. Ethan apologized without excuses. My mother saw the records. The necklace returned to me without ceremony. We didn't fix everything, but we stopped pretending. And sometimes honesty is the only real beginning. If you've ever been underestimated, overlooked, or made to feel invisible, this story is for you. Share yours below. Subscribe if you want to hear what happens next.